Hello there. This is the Shawn1113 podcast show being recorded on January 13th, 2026. Thank you so much for joining this podcast, wherever you may be, wherever platform you're listening to, anywhere and everywhere in the world. If you love this content, everything will be listed in below. Excuse me, 1 second. There you go. Anyway, um, like I said, a lot of NFL, a lot of college basketball coming up pretty soon. Because before you know it, Major League Baseball, 2.5 months from now, March will be approaching an NCAA basketball tournament. Once the Super Bowl ends, then NHL, NBA, the Olympics, FIFA World Cup. Time goes pretty fast in sports these days. So, in my opinion, one of the best times of the year is April, March, April. But still, even now is a good time to watch sports because it's the ultimate reality TV live at times. So wherever sport you're listening to, wherever sport you're watching, wherever you're streaming to, it's just amazing. Sometimes I do go to the business of sports as well, like college football or what I call sometimes semi-pro football. Because again, ever since the NIL, that's what it's become, semi-pro football. I listened to Trey Clavitt. I listened to Clay Travis say something about the NIL, and from what I understand, one of the stories was there was a college football player that transferred 4 times in 4 years for 4 different schools. This is the semi-pro football approach, in my opinion, that that is being referred to. If you haven't listened to Clay Travis's take on it, go to Outkick, and you'll see for yourself about college football, NIL, and many other things. It's worth a listen. Speaking of college football, before I get to the NFL, I want to make mention of Indiana and Miami. Pretty good games. I commend Ole Miss for what they've done. Oregon, I don't know what happened to Oregon. They just got steamrolled by Indiana. But then Oregon made mistakes. They did it to themselves. Give credit to Indiana, though. They might be the most complete college football team I've seen in a long time if they stay undefeated. So with that, let me give you Sean CFP Championship Game. Indiana and Miami. I'm picking the Miami Hurricanes. And I got to, but it's also with a caveat. They cannot get off to a slow start because if Indiana goes to a fast start, look what they did to Alabama and look what they did to Oregon. If Indiana explodes off the blocks like that, because Miami cannot start slow, they just can't. Like I said, Miami when they play against Ohio State, they could not. They got score. They had to score more than 10 points, and they did. They cannot get Miami. Miami's defense has got to have their speed and take advantage of whatever Indiana does. Indiana does. But Indiana, like I said, if they explode off the blocks, the last 2 games, they're going to win this champion. They're going to win. But I'm picking Miami, Florida, and I'm hoping for the best on that over Indiana. We'll see what happens. If Indiana goes undefeated, you're not going to see too many college football teams in this NIL that will ever stay undefeated. So there's something special about Indiana. To their credit, that makes me think that if they do beat Miami, they deserve to be one of the best teams in this modern era. That's my opinion. Ever since the 2001 Miami Hurricanes. Think about that. Now on to the NFL. Man, man, oh man, oh man. Really good football games. That Carolina um, Rams game, really good game. It seems like Carolina belongs, even though they lost. It seems like Carolina belongs there, competitive, especially when they're at home. Um, Green Bay, Chicago. Here's my question with Green Bay fans: how in the world do you let the Chicago Bears win? First of all, take a lead and only to get beaten by the Bears twice in Chicago, if you really think about it. So Chicago moves on. So New England and LA Chargers. New England, no doubt. Who's your MVP of the NFL? Is it Matthew Stafford or Drake May or Josh Allen? Take your pick. You can't go wrong with it. But Buffalo, give a lot of credit. Had the greatest tush push I've ever seen. I've ever seen. Started to beat Jacksonville. We'll see what happens from there. Um, then Houston and Pittsburgh on Monday. This past Monday night. I don't think Tomlin's going to get fired this season, but the way they lost that game to Houston, and Houston is playing such better football right now, especially on the defensive side of football. Um, they are definitely at a Pittsburgh is at a crossroads right now. They got to get a quarterback other than Aaron Rodgers, a young quarterback. They cannot keep getting veterans one season down, but they also have to realize that is Mike Thomas' time in Pittsburgh up. We'll find. I don't think, like I said, it's a. I don't know if he's going to get fired this season. Next season will be the season that if they don't make it, I don't. I think Thomas gets to go because he has a 1 year contract. He has 1 year on his contract left. So we'll see what happens there. As for Sean Steele's NFL divisional round picks, in my opinion, LA Rams to Chicago. I pick Chicago. Buffalo and Denver, picking Denver. Houston and New England, it can go either way. Picking Houston. And San Francisco and Seattle, the toughest pick. Definitely a tough one, but I'm picking Seattle for right now. College basketball, I've been watching a little bit of that. Arizona, it's gonna be a wide open, a very wide open. I think when it gets to March, it's gonna be very wide open. Duke, Houston, Duke, Purdue, Michigan, UConn, Iowa State, Arizona, Nebraska, and Vanderbilt and Gonzaga and BYU. Like I said, that might be the most. Like I said, you think the NFL was unpredictable? March Madness, I mean, the NCAA men's basketball tournament might be just as unpredictable as anything when it comes to March. When it comes in March 2026, in my opinion. Like I said, everything's ongoing. Before you know it, and I have a question for baseball fans. I know it's early because we will not think about it until late March and April. Can the Dodgers possibly three-peat? Can the Los Angeles Dodgers three-peat? Can Toronto go back to the World Series? Can Seattle finally finally go to the World Series? Can Baltimore with Pete Alonso bounce back? A lot of things. English Premier League, Arsenal still leading right now by a pretty decent margin. So we'll see what happened out because they weren't like I said, they were on a break for the FA Cup, but we'll see what happens there when they do next week to EPL play. Meanwhile, just a lot at the moment, a lot of things in the world going crazy and stuff, but that's the usual right at the moment. So with that, and like I said, NBA, NHL, Winter Olympics are going to be the next big event pretty soon, actually, with the hockey, skiing, figure skating, all that other stuff. So that's going to be not that. It will be pretty soon for that. So and then FIFA World Cup and all kinds of stuff for 2026. So everything's coming together. Hope you enjoy your sports wherever you may be, whatever sport you're watching or streaming or listening to, what have you. And with that, that is the Shawn1113 podcast show, recorded on this January 13th, 2026. Well, I am a year older now, so I'm 58. So happy birthday to me. So with that, please stay encouraged no matter what. Live your life as normal as possible in a abnormal world. And everything will be listed in the description and will be on X as well. Thank you for listening to the Shawn1113 podcast show. God bless you.